So today's topic is Git. So let's forget about GitLab, GitHub. Just think like, what is Git? Surya, do you know about Git? What is Git?
So it's a code repository which will store the source code management kind of.
Okay, okay. So so it's not just related to code. I would say like it's kind of Git is a tool which gives you flexibility to store history of your files. History of files. That is why when we say history of files, what it say like it will give you that command on your files where you can keep history of your files. Like now you have done some changes in your file at this point of time. After some time you have done these changes, so it keeps that history. Like you can anytime you can revert back to that previous changes using Git. So it's not just code, but why it is widely being used because of this feature only. It keeps the history of your file operations you done or files. So because of that only in our software industry, Git is now prominently used because of, and it is not like bound to particular programming language or application, as it deals with only your files, so it can be used anywhere. Like either you can use it to store your GitLab Python files, Node.js files, Java files, or etc. Because at the end, Git just think of this is the file, and it have to keep history of that file. So because of that only, Git got so much famous in our software industry world. Okay, you got it.
Yes, Rahul, I got it.
Okay, so now if you want to like what we are going to do, like uh, we will do directly hands-on on our how we can use Git. So basically like from my perspective, we use VS Code, and to install Git is again a software, I would say, we used to do keep the history of that file. So here it is the official website of Git, where you from where you can download the supported package for your OS. It can be Linux, it can be Mac, or it can be Windows. So I did it for Windows. So once you install it, there are several clicks you need to do to install it. Once you do that, so you will find this particular application in your OS, that is Git Bash. So it
Okay,
gives you,
this is for Windows, right? Git
yeah, this is
Bash.
for Windows only, but same you will find in Linux, and same will you find in OS, Mac OS as well. But now I have Windows laptop, so I'm just showing you on it Windows. So here you can see like it gives you that operability to perform Git operation on your directory. Like whatever files you have, you can use that particular Git to maintain the history of your files. Okay, so what we do, like whenever we go with some, let's take example real world scenario, like where we like let's suppose we have a Java application we are going to build, right? So there will, what we will do, like we will create first directory one, like where we will keep all our files, Java files. Okay, so what we'll do,
Yeah.
put we will start creating files inside that directory, that Java application directory. Once that is done, and then we will do those changes, and we will try to run that application. Like this is the general common scenario throughout we will see while developing any application. So where Git comes in, like Git comes in there, like whenever uh, now let's suppose in a team there will not be a single developer, there will be several developers working on a particular application, right? So let's take example, Surya and me and you are working on developing one application. So what we will do with the help of Git, what we can do, our directory will be placed uh, somewhere that nothing but on a remote repository. Nowadays so many remote repositories available to support Git functionality, that is GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and so on. But most prominently used is GitHub and GitLab. So we'll take an example, like we will have a GitHub, okay, where we will push our code, where we will collaborate, right? You and me will be collaborate our uh, development on a GitHub folder. We will have a GitHub account. In that we will have a GitHub. We will have a repository. Repository is nothing but directory where we will store our files, and we will contribute development code to that particular repository only. So this is how where Git helps you to do not just to keep a history of your files, but also it helps you to do collaboration of your files, to do a collaborative work on your files, right? So what we will do, like you will check out that code you want in local, I will check out that code in my local, and they will do operation, and we will that when again we will push that code to that common repository. We will have it on GitHub. So this is how Git and remote repositories like GitLab, GitHub, and Bitbucket helps you to not to just keep a history of your files, but to commit code in a single repository where you can do collaboration between several developers, several stakeholders, like way. And there are so many uh, other what I can say. There's so many other advanced features also there. Like you can, with the help of that single repository only, you will able to do CI/CD. So when we will start learning Jenkins, so then that time you will get to know like how we can use, how we are using that particular source code repositories in our CI/CD pipeline. Like it will be a single point to fetch the latest code in our CI/CD pipeline, then it will be deployed to our environment. So GitHub, so Git is the tool to keep the history of your files. It is the basic fundamental of Git. But because of that fundamental only, it helps you to collaborate your code with the help of remote repositories like uh, GitHub, GitLab, and Bitbucket, which we called it as source code repositories. So we talked source code repositories, nothing but any code, any line of text you can store in Git, but in more software development lifecycle phase, we talk it as a source code management tool only, right? So this is the basic difference. So what I did, like
Yeah.
uh, so if you want to use Git on your locals, you will have to deploy this application, install this application. It helps you to do all these activities, and most of the
So like
developers.
we can
Yeah,
connect through Git Bash, right, to GitHub.
yeah,
There is
we
that
connect it.
remote repository.
Right. Yeah, I will
Okay.
show you. I will give you the demo on that as well, like how we are going to connect with our remote repository, which is resided into GitHub or GitLab. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Next is like VS Code. So to do development activity, VS Code is uh, most of the users, most of the developers use VS Code for their development work. There are so many tools available in market, but this is easiest one, I would say. Okay, so
Okay.
let's now start. So I have already installed Git Bash, and I already have a VS Code on my local. Now I will start doing development, and I will try to
Okay.
push that code to GitHub repository. Okay, so what
Okay.
I did? Yes, Surya, sorry. Hello.
Yeah. So like GitLab and GitHub both are almost same, right? Like
Almost
both
same,
are
almost same.
code repositories, remote repositories.
Both are using Git as a base tool for their application. You can say like they have added extra layer on a Git. Now what I'm
Okay.
going to show you, like I'm going to show you a raw Git, like raw Git, I would say, like what we can do uh, on a local basis with the
Okay.
help of the Git bash we have installed. But the GitHub, GitLab, what they have done, like they have provided you one UI. They have
Okay.
provided you uh, what steps you can do with the help of commands, no, that can be done on UI as well. So that particular feature is provided by GitLab, GitHub, and Bitbucket because of that. So we can say it as they are also using Git only as their best tool, best tool. But these are other features like on the with the help of UI as well, you can do those changes, you can do collaboration, you can have
Okay.
access control uh, on your repository with the help of that. So that features are given by GitLab and GitHub. Again, GitLab is commercial tool, and GitHub you will
Okay.
find it is free to use. Like not 100% free to use, but 90% I would say it is free to use. But the
Okay.
uh, functionality and work wise, all tools are same, like Bitbucket, GitLab, and GitHub.
Okay. So like Git is a command line thing.
Not command line, it's you, it gives you same features whatever you are going to do on a local machine with the help of Git na, same that you
Okay.
can do on your UI
Okay.
with those things. But not just that thing, but it gives you access control, like as I am saying, collaboration. So you will have to add
Okay.
some users to that repository, right? So that is not
Yeah.
possible on your local machine. You will have to have
Yeah.
keep it somewhere where you will have access control, right? So that is
Yeah.
given by uh, that is given by that GitHub. Not just that, like if you are trying to push some code, so you will be reviewing that code from someone, right? And he or she will be
Yeah.
approving that code to get it forward. So that is
Yeah.
also feature given by the GitLab GitHub uh, tool over the internet. So it made
Okay.
developers job, not just developer but entire team's job, easy to do a collaboration, a reviewing, then approval process, then access control
Yeah.
process. So these are the prominent one of the top features of GitLab GitHub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now what I did, like I have already created a directory over here, git hyphen training. Okay.
Okay.
So
This is a local repository or
this is local
remote repository?
repository now. Now we are not doing anything. We are doing Git operations on our local first, and then I
Okay.
will show you on UI like how we can put now. Now we have done something, and now we want to push it to remote repository that is on GitHub on GitLab. So that will be a second part of our hands-on. But the first will be, just forget about there is a GitHub GitLab, but we want to use Git to maintain the history of our files. Okay, that I am going
Okay.
to show you now.
Like
Okay.
how you created this local repository? Can you show that in VS Code? How you?
Uh, it's like okay. So just you have created that folder somewhere on your local machine. Like let's suppose here I have created it. Uh, so this is the folder I have created where I'm going to do development work. Right? I'm going to put all
Yeah.
my files over here. So this is the one. Once this is directory is created, then what I will do, I will go into file and then I will click on open folder and I will select my folder. Okay, let me show
Okay.
you. So this is how I will be selecting my folder. Okay.
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 Now I'm going to do now I'm going to add one new file. Okay.
Okay.
uh, okay, so here I am doing testing txt. Okay, just doing enter. Now this file will be created inside my directory where the directory
Okay.
is placed.
Okay. So like kind of text files, HTML
Yeah,
files, yes.
yeah,
Okay.
anything. It's, don't think like it will be used for some programming language only. It's a
Okay.
basic fundamental of Git is to keep history of your file. So file can be anything. It can be
Okay.
.txt, it can be a PNG image, it can be anything. It can be a video as well. Like you can upload video as well on the GitHub repository. Okay, it just deal with file. It just deal with files only, not programming language extensions like .py, .java, like
Okay.
that .js files. So that is the why it is being used phenomenally uh, among all programming languages to do development. Like it just keep history, so it's not related to a particular language, but it's deals with the genericness of your files. Like it just keep the history
Okay.
of those files, whatever you are written in that, it will track. We will keep track of that only, and then it will
Okay.
show you like, see, this is the changes you have done earlier, now you are going to do these changes. So you want, if you want to keep this or you want to add this as well, so this is kind of track it is doing. So it's not
Okay.
tracking the programming language, like yeah, you are doing py, now you are adding this function, now you are adding this
Okay.
function, so what function you want to do. No, it will read each and every file line by line only. So even if there is a function, it won't be treat that function as a function, it will be treated as a single line only.
Okay.
Get my point? So I have added. some line to my code. Okay. Now you want to perform git operation on it. Either you can go here, again you can select your repository like this, like just go into here,
Okay.
click on, right click on it, and search for this option git bash here. Okay.
Okay.
So same you can do, like now you are able to see your directory, that the file I have added it from VS Code. I can see here, right? VS Code gives you that functionality to it auto saves your file. You don't need to do control save, control S or anything. Okay. But there is another option in VS as well. Like whenever you will be installing this bin bash now, git bash now, it will ask you to connect with VS Code. So you just tick mark that option to connect to integrate this git bash with terminal. So when you will click on this terminal, no, so
Okay.
just click on this terminal and you will find over here, and you can select your git bash over here. Like you will able to see this git bash over here.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't need to open this
Okay. Separate
that
window.
separate window. So you can do everything here as well, like using that git bash. So you just have to select that option whenever you will be installing your git bash from that package. No, it will ask you to integrate with Visual Code. Just tick it, just mark it, and once installation done, you will be able to do that. Okay. So the
Okay.
first command, now you want to use git, like you want to keep history of your file. So the first command will be, you will have to initialize git inside your directory. So the command will be git init.
Init. Yeah.
Okay. So now it has created one .git file where it will keep all the metadata. It is not shown because it is dot file, right? But it will keep
Yeah.
all your metadata inside that, where it will keep a history of your files. Okay. So this is done. Now if I do now the next command is, it will now start tracking of your whatever files you have created, that is testing.txt. Now you have created this file now, and now you will have to keep the track of this file. So first command will be, you will have to check using git status.
Rahul, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
So this git init means it is going to create a repository, right?
Not repository, it will create one .git file inside your directory, where will be the metadata of your git history. Whatever you do, that history will be stored inside .git file. You getting my point? It's not
Okay.
repository, still it is not repository. We are not
Okay.
connected to any GitHub or GitLab yet. We are simply create one directory. Instead that we are doing some performing some operation, like creating some files. Now we want to keep the track of those files, so that is the reason we are going to use git. So that's
Okay.
why I said, like, for now just forget about GitHub, the repository concept and everything. Right now we are just dealing with local system, where without help of any GitHub or GitLab, still we can do all those operations. Like we can keep history of our files using git command itself only. So to do that, we need to initialize our git using git space init command.
Okay. So in
So
the
if
Git
I click
training
on,
folder only, it is going to initialize one .g
yeah,
file.
yeah,
Okay.
git file, not file, it's a directory again. In that there will be everything. Your commits will be there. What branches you have created so far, that will be there. Everything will be there. Okay.
Okay.
So
It
now
is
if,
kind of creating one
yeah,
empty Git file.
yeah, it's a operational folder where or operational metadata will be stored. Whatever
Okay.
you are operation you are going to do with git, no, so that will be stored. Now if I do git status, no, so now you are, it is saying like there is one untracked file, testing.txt. Untracked
Okay.
file means you are not added metadata for this file in your .git folder. So if you click on git status now, so it will show you like what, like git status helps you to see like what is added newly and what is not tracked yet by git. So so testing.txt file is added newly, right? But it is not tracked, it is not getting tracked by our git. So if you click on git, if you hit the command git space status, so it will show you the status of your files, like which file is being tracked and which file
Okay.
is being not tracked. So now this particular phase is called staging. Like it is now we are in the staging. to track our files using Git, right? So then
Yeah.
only you will have to tell Git, no, okay, see, this is my file, and now you'll have to keep the history of my file in your Git. So
Okay.
nothing but what I'm going to say Git, like going to say to Git is like, please keep the track of my this file, like testing.txt. Then it will start keep tracking of my file, and then it will show the history of my file like way. Okay, so I'll have to tell. So now we in the phase of Git staging. Now our testing is in untrack mode. Now we want to get it into track mode. So the in between of phase is staging. So if anyone asks you about what is Git staging, so you will have to tell like whatever we do changes, those are untracked unless and until we add them it to Git using Git add command.
Okay.
So this is how you start tracking of your file. So once you do that, I'm just clearing it, and if you click it again, so now you can see like
Okay.
changes to be committed. Now your Git has started tracking your texting.txt file like way. So now you're getting my point. What is Git init? What is Git
Yeah. So
status?
like staging means before adding
Yeah,
untracked
before that,
files.
yeah, untracked files. So there is no as such command Git staging, but it's a phase. They would ask you about that
Okay.
phase where this Git staging happens. So you'll have to tell like whenever you do changes, those are untracked changes with the Git. So before get those changes in a track phase using Git, there is a staging phase. Now we are going to move them into track phase. Like we are going to use command Git add and that particular file that we want to track further. Okay.
Okay.
So this is done. Okay. Now, okay. Now, as such, still you can say there is no branch, right?
Yeah. It's just a file.
It's just a file. Yeah. Default branch will be master only. By default,
Okay.
Git will have a master branch only that you can change it whenever you will start putting your data in a remote GitHub repository. No, that time you will see like how we can change those masters and how we can create new branches. Same we can do. Uh, like okay, let me do one change. Okay, now this is in Git master branch, right? The changes. Now what
Yeah.
I'm going to do,
Yeah.
like I'm going to do git checkout -b development. I'm going to create new branch. Now I'm switched to development. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So git
So
checkout means it is going to create a new branch.
from out of master branch, that is why you are able to see now this testing.txt file is there. What I did, I just copied everything. Like what whenever you do git checkout or whenever you create new branch now, so it will show like from where you are like on UI it will show from which branch you want to create a new branch.
Okay.
Right. Same. Right now
Yeah.
we have just master branch now, so it has created a branch from master branch only. So copied same
Okay.
data in that development. Now let's see now how it keeps the history of your files. Now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to create one new file inside my development branch.
Okay.
Uh, see, now I have created one testing one.txt branch inside my development branch. Okay. Now what I'm
Okay.
going to do again, I'm going to do git status. So now it is telling me key. Now you have to track this file. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do git add
Git.
testing one.txt. Okay. Now you can see the changes. Now I am in development branch, right? But in
Yeah.
master branch there is only one file to be shown. So this is how we can prove Git keeps the history of your files, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You're getting my point. What I'm trying to say, like
Yeah.
we
Yeah. I
have
got it.
first we had a master branch, then in that we had one text in the text file only. Okay. Then what we
Yeah.
did, then we created a new branch out of master branch. In that that is development branch. In that we already got testing.txt file over there, right? Which was
Yeah.
copied from that branch only. Now what we have done, now we have created another text file inside development branch. Okay.
So like the development branch is a clone of master branch
Yeah,
now.
clone of master branch and clone, not just clone, but we are going to add something to
Development.
development branch. Okay. So now
Okay.
let's see. Now I'm now again switching back to my master branch. So in that case, I should not see this text in one.txt file over there. Sorry, let me
Yeah. Only in development branch these two should be there. In master
yeah,
branch only testing.txt should be there.
right. Now we have switch. Oh, something I have made it wrong. Sorry.
That Git training is the master branch, right?
Hmm.
That folder.
Yeah, sorry, that folder
Yeah.
is there. I made something wrong over here. It is not keeping history. No, it won't work like this. Sorry, I made some mistake. Okay, it is not like that. Sorry. Uh, yeah, it won't work like that. Okay, what I will have to do, like I will have to push it to remote repository first. From there, it will be creating a development branch. I'll have to push those changes somewhere, right? Still, we are not pushing
Mm.
anything. We are just keep
Yeah.
tracking of all those files. That is the why it is not showing. Okay, got it. I'm sorry for this. Okay, so now we want to check the history, right? So what we'll have to do, like we'll have to create account on GitHub. So I have already created my account over here. Uh, so same you'll have to create over here, and now here you'll have to create a branch, a new repository. Now we are going into concept of repositories. Okay, so if you
Okay.
click on this new button, sorry for that, I just missed.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So this is the repository name you are going to give, git hyphen training. Okay, this you
Yeah.
can have some description for that. You can make it public or private. Private will be like it won't be shown on internet if someone try to search along with your username. This is my username. So
Yeah.
yeah, or if you make it public, so anyone can access it. So we will do this. We'll make it private only. Okay. Now we will not add anything and we will create a repository. Okay. So we have already done git init, right?
Yeah.
Inside
Yeah.
our code that initialize that .git directory. We have already added some files. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I got it. Wait, what I missed.
Now you should commit this development branch
Yeah.
to the.
Now if I do git checkout hyphen b master, it will still show me. Yeah, I will have to do that in that way only. Okay, got it. So
But how can you push to the like for that branch, like
yeah,
remote repository?
yeah,
You
I'm
should give
going.
the URL, right?
Yeah, I'm going to show you that only. Now what I'm doing, like I'm pushing my these changes to master branch. Okay. So same command will have to follow. Okay. We are
Okay.
already like by default GitHub gives you main, so we are not going to use main branch. We will be our master, our branch will be master only now. So we'll skip this
Okay.
step, and now we will add this remote. Uh, like now your question is right, how we are going to push these changes
Uh,
to whatever. So with the help
uh,
of this command only, we are going to do that. So
okay.
origin is not a keyword, it's any word you can give. Like with the help of that, instead of giving whole URL, it's a alias. It can be, we can say it as alias. So it, this
Okay.
origin alias is nothing but your whole URL. So we are going to put that over here. This is added now. And now, as I said, we are not going with main branch. We will have a master branch in our GitHub. Okay. So same
Okay.
command, the git push is the command we use to push our changes to remote repository.
Okay.
Uh, Sorry. And here we will give master because our branch is master only. Once you click on this, now here I have already added my changes. Okay.
Yeah.
My credentials. That is the reason you did not ask me for my credentials. But when you will do it for first time now, definitely it will ask you for credentials. So it will ask you to configure your Git bash either with user credentials or a token. So we will prefer
Okay.
token only. So to get that token from your remote repository, here you will have to go. Click on your icon of your profile, then go into settings,
Okay.
then go down and check for this developer setting and go
Okay.
into personal access tokens, and here is the tokens classic. So there you will have to generate a new token, the classic again.
Okay.
Okay, you will have to give some notes, you'll have to add some expiry, and as you are a admin of your repository, so you can tick all these scopes, like with,
Okay.
with that token, like, or you can do all these operations with the help of that token. Once that is done, it will create a token for you, and then
Okay.
you will have to copy paste that token in your git bash. It will ask you in a git bash. Let me show where, whether I can do that. uh, Here is not option, but it will ask you. No, here is not that option, but you can add that option whenever you will do it for first time. No, so it will give you prompt to add that token. So you'll have to add that token. Then only it will authenticate yourself with our GitHub repository, and it will be able to push those changes. Okay, just try this on your own, and if any issue comes in, no, so just let me know. So we will check that again. Like from my laptop is already configured uh, with my GitHub repository, so that is the reason it did not ask. Okay, so now we are already
Yeah.
push changes, no, so just
Or
if you
else
go,
you can we can give the git config command,
yeah,
right?
yeah, we can. No, in a git config, what it does, like, let me show you that as well. Okay, okay, just a moment. Let me show you that. So if I click on, if I go for git config, okay, so what it gives you, like you can set, like let's suppose now we are talking about collaboration, right, Surya? like you and me
Yeah.
are doing collaboration.
Yeah.
So Git, like third person from us should able to know like who has done those changes, right? Is it me or you? So using this git
Yeah.
config, we can set our user email address and use username. With this name,
Mm.
our changes will be pushed. Right now we are not configured, like I have already configured, no? So you might
Okay.
have seen here.
So like git config is to configure username and password, right?
Not password. It just configure this name, DevOps gigs 007, which I have done it
Okay.
already.
Okay.
Okay. To
Okay.
configure that password, whenever you hit this command, no? So if you let me show you on terminal somewhere. Okay. So if I do a git pull of it, I think it is already there now, so it won't. Git clone. My password is already configured to my entire system, no? So it won't show
Okay.
you. But if you're not configured, no, so every time whatever command you will hit, no, so it will ask you for username and password of your GitHub repository, GitHub or GitLab
Yeah.
repository. That you will have
Yeah.
to put it there before pushing those changes. Then only it will go
Uh,
to your remote repository. Otherwise, it won't go.
okay. Kind of SSO, right?
Yeah, SSO. SSO again different one. Surya. SSO is single sign-on. It's just a
Okay.
credential. SSO is like you will have a single entry point and you will able to access multiple services after that. Sorry for disturbance.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Okay. So let's configure git config. Git config hyphen global user dot email and my email address over here devops dot gigs 007 at the rate gmail.com. And same I can do it for my username as well. Username
So
works.
it is going to.
It is going to use this name to do all those changes in my repository. It will show this whatever changes I will do now. It will show it with these changes. Let me do that as well. Like to for like now what I'm doing some changes in testing.txt file. Sorry, why I open over here. So this is my testing. I added something. Okay.
Okay.
Now if I do git status, now it is again on track because there are some changes in testing notation. Now you can see like it's reading each file line by line. It is trying to
Yeah.
track all those files. So what I'll do git add
Uh,
testing.txt. Once that is done, I'm already added the remote now, so I just have to push those changes.
okay.
Oh, I will have to commit first. Sorry, I'll have to commit those changes. Then only it will be able to commit m added new lines to uh, testing.txt. Okay, now if I do push, now it has pushed my changes. If I come over here, now it was earlier DevOps gigs.07, so it would. Oh, okay, okay, got it. Why it is not using my name? It changes that name, but right now on the basis of this only, it is trying to gets DevOps gigs.007. We can change that
Okay.
name with the help of git config. Let me see this first. Something it changed. It is because it is taking this, but ideally it can be changed.
Okay.
Okay, I will figure it out and I will let you know this. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but in collaboration, you can change that name with the help of this global setting. So that is
Okay.
doable. Okay.
Okay.
Now next is like git ignore. Like there are some files. Like if I created one more file, new file that is secret.txt. There is some secret. Okay, and I don't want to push this secret to my uh, GitHub repository. So in that case, what I will do, like I'll create one file, new file dot that will start with dot, then git ignore, ignore. Okay. Once that is done, so I can add this file to ignore that file while pushing. So what I will do now you can see, like if I do git status, now you can see my .secret.txt file is trying to track this file, right? I don't want to track this
Yeah.
secret.txt file. So what I will do, like I have already created one .git ignore file. So I will add that file name over here, secret.txt, and will save it. So if I do so, and if I do again git status, now you can see now it won't track those files. It won't do anything with those files. So with the help of git ignore, we can ignore some files that you don't want to push to your repository. So example is like in Node.js. So what you do, so whenever there is a package.json file, right? And whenever you do npm hyphen I install that package.json file, it creates one node modules folder. In that it will install everything. So what
Okay.
developers do whenever he or she wants to push that code, no, so he tries to skip that particular folder. So with the help of .git ignore, he or she keep that particular developer skip that particular folder. That won't be pushed in your GitHub repository. Like our target while using GitHub repository is to keep size of our repository as much we can, keep the size of our repository low, small as much we can, like, right? We should not
Yeah.
push everything to that repository, because again when you will try to clone that file for repository somewhere, it should not take that much time just to clone
Yeah.
the clone of data. So it's a clean code. Just the code should be pushed to our repository. Nothing should not be pushed. So in that case we can use this dot git ignore methodology. Okay. Again, you don't
Okay.
want to, if you don't want to push this as well, so you can again ignore this as well. Like if you add this name, itself in your file.
Yeah.
Okay, so it won't track keep a track of that file as well. Okay, but for others we will keep it, because when we do collaboration we keep that file, so that others also will be use same file to do those changes. Okay,
Yeah.
so if I do git status, now I will have to add this file, then commit -m uh, added dot git ignore, and then so this is done now. uh, okay, now what we'll do, now we will now we know like we have already some files over here. Okay, now we want to create a new branch out of it, feature one. So what we will do,
Okay.
like we will do git checkout -b feature one. Okay, now I have done this. Okay, now we know that it just creates a clone of your master branch only, like master is the uh, main branch of our git repository, right? Now what we'll do, like we will create some file over here, one.txt. We'll add some code over here. Okay, now we will do git status. Now it is saying us like this file on track, so we will keep that file into tracking for git. That is done. Then commit this file, and now we will push that file to feature one. So now you can see here like there is another branch is created. This is the master which is having only 3 files, and in feature one there are 4 files. Uh, as you can see, now we talked about history. Now we want to check. We want to see like what was earlier. Like definitely in master branch, there are 3 files only. So whenever we again check out to master branch, check out the master. Now when we switch to master branch now, so now you can see like there is no testing feature one.txt file which we created. Like it is in it is now hidden from us because this file is not in master branch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how it keeps the history of your files. Okay, now next topic is like
Like most of the things will done by dev people only, right? These things.
yeah, most of the things will be done by dev people only, but from architecture point of view, when you are as a when you will work as a DevOps architect, so it's your responsibility like how you are going to prepare CI/CD pipeline, right? So in that
Yeah.
case, branching strategy plays important factor while setting up while setting up that architecture for your CI/CD. So if you have
Okay.
proper branching strategy, then only you will able to set up pipelines according to your environment. Otherwise, it will be a mess for you. Like developer will not care for their work. You will have to make them disciplined while writing code, testing code, or everything. Like being in QA, there should be a different QA branch, and that branch only QA will work, right? So this is how you should
Yeah.
able to segregate all your stakeholders with the help of your branches. Okay,
Okay.
so uh, now you want to merge. Just a moment. Okay, so now you have some changes in your feature branch. Now you want to merge those changes to your master branch. Okay, so in that
Okay.
case, what you will do, like you will again come back to your master branch first. Okay, and that in that case you will be using git merge command. Uh, now first you will be do git fetch. So interviewer will definitely ask you difference between git fetch and git pull. So what git fetch does, like it just updates your .git directory with all the metadata available. So we are again talking about collaboration, right? So definitely some
Yeah.
other developer have cut out another feature branch out of master. They have the that you developer must have done changes and push those changes to master as well. So every time you'll have to do git fetch, so it will able to fetch latest metadata from your remote repository, and then you'll have to do git pull if there are some changes already there. Like uh, it's based on commits. So whatever changes you done, it's treated as a one commit, right? So just think,
Yeah.
just uh, s- uh, s- imagine this scenario. There are two developers, both have uh, created two branches out of master branch, feature one and feature two. Okay,
Okay.
another developer has already done his changes and pushed these changes to master. He merged those changes as well to master, but you are still
Yeah.
to do so, right? So in that case, you should know like what already there. Otherwise, there will be a conflict. So definitely,
Yeah.
interviewer ask you this question like how merge conflicts are resolved. So merge conflicts are nothing but there are already your master branch. It's uh, it's again your merge conflicts are nothing but you are behind your master branch, right? So at the
Yeah.
time
So
of
each and every time you should update the master branch to your branch, and then you
yeah,
should merge it.
right, right, right. So in that case, you will be do git pull and then you will be do git rebase. So in git rebase, you will able to see all those changes, and it will ask you to what changes you do. Then you can commit. So you'll have to make your
Okay.
branch as same as master branch along with your new changes. So if interviewer asks you about git conflict, how you can solve git conflict, so the command is git rebase. Okay.
Okay.
So now there is no conflict because we are just a one developer. We are doing this operation. But when you do when we'll do it with collaboration, no, so that time you will face those changes. So you'll have to do that.
Okay.
It's not just for developers, but in DevOps case as well. Like if we DevOps guys are writing Terraform code with in collaboration, so then definitely there will be a chances to do rebase with your repository. Okay.
Okay.
So now you know the difference between git fetch and git pull. What is git rebase? Where we use git rebase, right? What is git
Yeah.
init? What is git checkout? Git checkout is nothing but if you do git checkout hyphen b, so it will create a new branch on your local machine only,
Okay.
right? And again, it will check as well like if that is already available or not. And if you do just git checkout master, so it will search for that master on remote, and it will switch to yourself to that branch only. So that is the reason we are able to see uh, that history, right? In master branch,
Yeah.
there are only three files. So these are the commands. So now you want to merge your feature one changes to master. So in that case, what you do, git merge command and then your feature branch name, feature one. Okay. So once you do that, now you can see in a master itself, your feature one.txt is also came, right? Now you will have to push those changes to your, don't need to push. So if you do this, okay. So now again you do git status. Okay. So you are already keeping track. So you just have to commit. You have merged your feature one to your master branch, right? Now you will be pushing those
Yeah.
changes to your master branch. So that is now on local, but now you have to do those changes on remote as well, right? So for that
Yeah.
only you'll have to do git commit hyphen m pushed changes to merged one to master, and then so now you can see here you have successfully merged your uh,
Feature on
feature branch,
branch.
feature one branch into. Same you can do over here as well. Like there are whenever you can create pull request. So what we talked about approval and review process. So that can be done through this pull request on UI. So this is the extra feature is given by GitHub. It just add extra layer on your Git functionality. All right.
Okay.
So okay, so these are the basic. I would say you should know in a Git at least like to do day-to-day activities. Being a DevOps engineer, like you should able to do changes on Git using Git commands. Should have definitely will have account access in your organization like way, and
Okay.
this will be like now. Let's suppose I want to create a new branch over here as well. Like we can create a new branch on a command line with the help of git checkout hyphen b. That same we can do here directly. Git branch.
Okay.
You just have to the two. It will ask you if it is not there, so it will ask you to create. So now you have created something. Okay. Now you want to add some file over here. So you can create a new file over here again in feature two.
Okay. Without commands, can directly do here.
Yeah, directly on remote. Okay, you can commit, you can add that commit with the help of commit git commit command. We used to give a commit line. Commit is nothing but meaningful line commit you should give while pushing those changes. So another third person will come to like what exactly changes you have done. Like you have done changes in some Java file, you should tell them in commit like see this file is updated with this code. So he or she will get on like yeah he has done changes in this file and this is the changes he have done. So
Yeah.
create, so I'm giving meaningful comment like created a new feature to branch, and I'm committing those changes to feature to branch. Okay, so now we merge that feature to master, right? So same that can be done here as well. Like we can do compare and pull request. So pull request is nothing but your merge request. So MR will be raised here. So you will give of meaningful information like pull request for merging feature to master, and here you will be giving all your changes like these are the changes I have done and I want to push them to now master. Okay, and
Okay.
now we will create a pull request over here. So now the pull request is created. So here is the option merge pull request. So we ran this command like what we did, like we had a feature one, then we checked it out our master branch again. We pull
Yeah.
all the data again. We pull uh, all those changes, and then we ran command that is git merge and which branch you want to merge into master. That branch name we give. Right. Same. This is happening over here. Like if you click on this, no merge pull request and confirm merge. So now you can see here, like on a code level, your master branch is now updated with feature2.txt file. Okay.
Okay.
So so if you any so in your organization you will find there will be a code reviewer process. There will be a we talked about agile methodology at our in first session, right? What it used to do, like it used to
Yeah.
do same thing only. Like code will be pushed, code will be reviewed by someone, it will get approved, it will be pushed to a further branch. Like now we will talking about our branching strategy, and then you will come to like how merge request helps you in reviewing your code environment wise, and at the time like that. Okay.
Okay.
So this is all about Git, I would say. Like, so these are some basic commands. There are several commands. I will share Git cheat book with all of you guys. Like, there will have other commands as well that can be used. But for being DevOps, at least this much you should know in a Git. Like, this is how Git works and what are the basic commands you should know, like that. Any doubt?
Okay. Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Now let's talk about branching strategy. Okay. So uh, let's take a example. Like, let's have a scenario. Like, now because of DevOps, we transform from waterfall model to agile methodology, right? So what agile
Yeah.
methodology gave you? Like, uh, we you can do changes in a runtime instead of building a bigger piece. You can cut down that piece into smaller piece and you can work on that single smaller piece at a time. You can do changes, you can do testing on that piece, and then you can merge that piece further, right? So this is how agile methodology helps you to do granular and more and to helps you to develop your product in more rapid way, right? So in branching strategy, when it comes to branching strategy, so what we do, like, there will be a development branch, there will be a QA, there will be a master branch. Okay. So now you can think like master, QA, development are nothing but your environments. Okay. One will be your
Okay.
development environment where developers will be do coding, will push their changes to the development environment, and they will do some kind of overall testing, like whether whatever they have developed, is it working or not. Like, that will be a playground environment for them, like to do to develop any feature for their product. Okay. Then once you develop it, then your next team comes is QA. Like, QA does thorough testing, like from front end, back end, it does everything. So there will be a separate QA environment for that only, where that QA team will do testing, whatever develop from the developers. And once QA team gives you go ahead, then then that code will be pushed to your master branch, and from master branch it will be deployed into production. So this is how branching strategy happens. So what
Yeah.
branching strategy we should follow, like, there will be a development branch, there will be a QA, and there will be a master. These three will be the main branches. Okay. Out of development, as we continuously discussing, that there will be no single developer, there will be a multiple developer will be working, but there will be only one development branch only, right? So what
Yeah.
developers will do, will cut out a feature one, feature two branches out of development. They will try to develop their feature in that feature branch only. Okay.
Okay.
Feature one will be developed by one developer, feature two will be developed by another developer. They will do, then what they will do, like, they will now, once they are done with their development, let's suppose one developer done with their feature one, so feature one will be merged to their development branch first, then we will deploy that branch into our development environment where the developer will able to test that feature. Okay. Same, feature 2 will be also developed, it will be again merged to development, that will be again deployed to development environment. So this is how, uh, in bits and pieces, we are trying to develop our one product. Like, there will be one product and which will have some several features will be developed simultaneously, it will be deployed simultaneously into your dev environment. Okay. So once
Yeah.
all the features are developed, okay, all the features are developed, uh, like, we in agile methodology, what we do, like, we follow sprint planning, right? There will be two sprints, then will be one release on production. So in those sprints, developers will do all the developments on their feature branch, they will merge their code to development branch will be deployed into development environment continuously. As soon as feature one gets merged into development, that will be a testing done by developers only. Once all features are developed and merge to development and then deployed to a development branch, then your development branch will merge to a QA branch. Okay. So QA branch will be deployed into your QA environment where QA team will start doing testing, uh, of all those features, feature 1, feature 2, whatever they have developed in that particular sprints. So everything will be thoroughly tested by QA team. So once that is done, a QA will go ahead like, yeah, these are the features are already working fine. Not just QA environment will be there, so we can think QA as a pre-prod. It will be exact replica of your prod where QA will be doing testing everything. Okay, so
Yeah.
QA will get to know like, yeah, this whatever features are developed are good to go on a production, that is on live environment. So then only QA will go ahead to push those changes to master branch. So now master branch is your main branch in your entire uh, git GitHub ecosystem. Okay, so what we'll do in a master branch, again we'll not directly push those changes to production through master branch. We will have a tag based deployment. So now we are talking about sprints and then releases, right? So releases are nothing but your tags. So if you can see here, like I have added this diagram like r hyphen 20.03.1.0, r hyphen
Yeah,
20.0. So
that is the
these are
versions.
the versions, nothing but releases. Like uh, in agile methodology, if you are following two sprints and then one release, so this will be your release after two sprints of work. Okay, so how we
Yeah,
will create that thing? So if you go in here, so here is the tag. So I can create a tag like 1.0.0, 1.0.0. Let me create a tag. Create a new release. So what I am talking about release, no, that is nothing but your tags. So click on this, you will have release like this. You will have all release notes like what you are developed in this release, what you are going to deploy in your production, right? So it will give you a track of your changes here. So you will do this and you will create that tag out of your master branch. Okay, and then
yeah,
publish release, nothing but you have created one tag. So that the tag, and so what is the difference between branches and tags? So tags is immutable. You once the tag is created, you can't do any changes in that tag. But in branches
okay,
you can clone, definitely you can clone that tag, but you can't do any changes in that tags. You can't push anything into tags, but same you can do in your branches. So this is the why most of the branching strategy we follow tag based deployment only, because it is immutable. Again, what gives you it gives you extra functionality. So tags will be created like 1.0.0. So you will have to consider like 1.0.0. So the first one is nothing but your major version, like on a monthly basis you are doing something, right? So that's this the reason whenever you get some upgrade on your Android application, you might have seen those numbers like 23.0.1.0 something, 24.0.0. So whenever the first number of your tag, that is 1.0.0, is incremented to 2.0.0, so that is nothing but some major version is coming. Okay, so you getting my point what I'm trying to say? 2.0.0, 3.0.0. And if the
yeah,
middle
yeah,
number, if the first number is same and middle number is changed like 1.1.0, so definitely you will come to know there is a minor version. Like sometimes what happen, like in sprints, developer will not able to accomplish all those changes they have decided for those sprints, right? So but
yeah,
they as a plan, definitely uh, we will have to do deployment on production with respect to our release. So what they do, like some after some time, there will be again develop deployment happen on production with the minor version, like one dot for this release, this feature was remaining. So now we are deploying this feature to production. So that will be treated as 1.0.0 one, second one, 1.1.1.1.0.
yeah,
First one will major, second will be minor. Now the third. Now you have developed everything, you have pushed, you have deployed everything. Now, but the bugs are not found on QA, but now you are observing those bugs on production. So in that case, what to do, like uh, we create a hotfix branch out of master branch again. This P1 is nothing but your hotfix branch. Okay. So we'll cut out one branch, we'll create, we will do those changes, we'll try to solve those bugs, and you immediately will have to push those changes to production, right? Because we can't let our production down for a longer period of time. So we'll do hot fixing. So hot fix branch will be done. Then again, we will create a tag out of that. Then once the hot fixing is done, then hotfix branch will be merged to master. Then we will again create a tag that will be as a 1.1.1. So the last digit is nothing but for your hotfix. Like there are some patch, you might have heard like
Yeah.
patch version is coming for your Android. So that patch is nothing but there was some error in your current Android system, and that is now resolved with the use of that patch. So 1.1.1. So here we are giving naming
Okay.
convention like 1.0 hyphen P1, patch 1, patch 2, patch 3, like way.
Okay.
So now you understand like what branching strategy you should follow. Like there will be three main branches: development, QA, and master. Then out of development, there will be a feature one, feature two, feature three branches according to features. That will be merged to development. Development will be deployed into dev environment. Once that is done, it will be merged to QA branch. QA will be deployed into QA environment,
Production.
the exact replica of your production, where QA team will be do testing. Once that testing is done, everything is successful, then QA will go ahead to push those changes in develop production. So we will merge those changes to master. In master, we will create a release with the help of tags, and those tags will be deployed to your production. So what extra feature tags gives you if you use tags? So you can do rollback as well. Like so now you can immediately roll back to your previous tag. Let's suppose I have created 1.0.0 tag. No, now I have created 2.0.0. Okay, where my tags went?
Like we should create new release. Then only automatically it will allocate a tag, right?
No, I will have to create tag over here like this. Sorry, create new tag, then 1.0.0. Some information like what you are going to do.
Publish release.
Yeah, now it is created properly. So now you can see here that tag is created 1.0.0. Now I have another
Yeah.
tag uh, created another tag that is 2.0.0. Okay, I've added those changes. Okay, and this is our latest release. So as I said, rollback functionality it gives because of tags, it gives you rollback functionality. So you can easily roll back to your previous tags, right? From
Yeah.
2.0 to 1.0. So this is how your branching strategy that you should able to easily roll back yourself from one release to previous release. Like way you should able to track your changes, you should able to uh, do all those activities. So this is how, so whenever you will try to set up your CI/CD for your deployment, so the first important point should come in your mind is branching strategy. First, you should define your branching strategy. Then only you will be able to uh, create a fine CI/CD pipeline for your application deployment. If you
Yeah.
start CI/CD and if you don't think of your branching strategy, it will definitely going to create a mess for you, and it will make your life tough to do CI/CD. So there won't be automation. Some at the some part you will have to do manually deployment because of your uh, improper branching strategy. Likewise, so before CI/CD, you should define your branching strategy. Then you should jump to CI/CD thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So interviewer will definitely ask you this question: what the branching strategy you are following in your organization? So you should know this. Like, yeah, this is the branching strategy we are following. Any
Yeah.
doubt in branching strategy?
Clear.
Okay. So purpose of today's lecture was not to get, because definitely it will be available on internet and it's a kind of practical work. But the main thing was branching strategy. I wanted to let you know, guys, like how uh, branching strategy should be made. Like, it's again, it's not that 100% foolproof. We can do changes, but this is the overall branching strategy we follow. Like, this is how the deployment happens in each and every organization.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's it for today.